Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into something, well, truly monumental, Kentaro Miura's Berserk.
Yeah, it's this sprawling dark fantasy universe, incredibly vivid, often horrifying. It's just captivated millions.
Absolutely. It's much more than just a manga series. It feels like a profound statement on fate, free will, the nature of evil itself.
That's it, exactly. So today we're doing an intensive look into Berserk's world, its lore. Not just recounting the plot, but trying to pull out the foundational ideas that make it so enduring, so influential in dark fantasy.
Okay, so what are we focusing on? We'll explore its setting, that kind of quasi-historical European feel.
Right, and how that gets twisted. We'll look at its cosmology, which is pretty malevolent, honestly.
And that inescapable law of causality, that dictates so much.
It really does. We'll definitely need to talk about the God Hand. Terrifying.
Oh, yeah. And the power system's demonic power versus arcane magic.
And the characters, of course. Guts, Griffith, Casca. Their backstories are so deep. Plus the philosophical ideas Miura wove into everything.
Our mission, really, is to give you a shortcut to understanding why this series hit so hard, why it's so profound.
Yeah, to help grasp the core lore, those historical cycles within the story, and the unique architecture of its reality. That's what sets Berserk apart.
So if you've ever wondered about the depth behind all the grit and the darkness.
Or how a world can feel so real, yet so terrifyingly supernatural at the same time.
Then this deep dive is definitely for you. Let's get into it.
Okay.
So, Miura grounding the world in a familiar medieval European setting. That was a deliberate choice, right? Almost like a dark fairy tale.
Absolutely. He wanted that once upon a time feel, precisely to make the supernatural stuff hit harder when it breaks through. It's a brilliant setup.
Because that familiarity actually heightens the horror later on.
Exactly. You start somewhere recognizable, feudal kingdoms, brutal wars, knights. Feels like our own history in a way.
Midland, for example.
Yeah.
Feels a bit like medieval France or the Holy Roman Empire.
Right, with its capital Wyndham. Yeah. Then you have the Tudor Empire, their rival in that 100-year war.
And the Kushan Empire, the invaders, they bring a different flavor.
Yeah, drawing from historical Kushan, Persian, Ottoman influences, it expands the world map.
And key places too, like Doldry, that fortress.
Huge turning point, where the Band of the Hawk made their name, and then you have somewhere totally different, like Elfhelm.
The mystical island sanctuary, a refuge.
A pocket of magic in the interstice, yeah. Shows the contrast. But the core world starts very human, rigid feudalism, powerful kings, nobles.
And the Holy See, that religious institution.
Which is terrifying in its own right. Like a darker, more dogmatic Vatican, complete with its own military arm, the Holy Iron Chain Knights.
Yeah, persecuting heretics, dictating faith. Mozgus comes to mind.
Ugh, Mozgus. He perfectly embodies that fanatical cruelty. Miura shows human institutions can be just as monstrous as any demon.
So we have this medieval baseline, castles, warfare, political intrigue.
Constant war, medieval tactics, mercenary bands like the Band of the Hawk showing ambition can challenge birthright.
But then you get these technological oddities like Guts' arm, the cannon, the repeating crossbow. They feel out of place, almost.
They do. And that's Miura playing with that tension. What happens when this mundane world with plate armor and trebuchets
suddenly collides with cosmic horror?
Exactly. Originally, there was a clearer separation. Utsugo, the physical world.
Yeah.
Kakuryō, the astral world, the realm of ideas, spirits, magic. That was mostly myth to ordinary people.
But that boundary didn't hold.
Not at all. It got shattered completely.
By the great roar of the astral world, that event changed everything.
Yeah, absolutely did. After Griffith's incarnation back into the physical world, this cataclysm just ripped the veil apart.
Forcibly merging the physical and astral realms.
Right. Suddenly, monsters, mythical creatures, magic, it's all undeniably real, flooding the mortal plane. The world becomes Fantasia.
A completely new, terrifying reality, no going back.
No going back. It's an irreversible shift.
Now, if we're talking about these huge world-altering events, we kind of have to look back, way back to Emperor Gaiseric.
Oh, definitely. That legend isn't just backstory. It's like a blueprint. It foreshadows so much.
Shows that pattern of causality in action even 1,000 years ago.
Precisely. So Gaiseric united the continent, built his capital where Wyndham now stands. Legend says he imprisoned a sage.
And that led to disaster.
Big time. 4 or 5 angels, likely the god hand of that era, descended and wiped out the city overnight. An apocalypse.
And the chilling part is the evidence left behind. under the Tower of Rebirth.
Yeah, those ruins, that altar covered in branded corpse, it reveals it was a massive ancient eclipse. The same kind of sacrificial ritual, history repeating.
Which brings us to the Golden Age. This is where many people jump into Berserk. Guts, Griffith, Casca.
It's such a compelling arc. Ambition, friendship, love, betrayal. It has everything.
But what stands out is how individual choices, especially Griffith's, seem guided by this larger force, this fate.
It's woven right in. You see Guts' horrific childhood born from a corpse, Gambino. It forges him as the struggler, someone fighting against a cursed destiny from the start.
Then he joins the Band of the Hawk, finds a purpose, maybe even a kind of family for a while.
Right, from about age 15 to 19. They become Midland's heroes, capture Doldry, Griffith gets his nobility. It looks like the dream is coming true.
Until Guts decides to leave, to find his own path.
And that act shatters Griffith. It sends him spiraling. His desperate act with Princess Charlotte, the imprisonment, the year of torture.
It breaks him, utterly.
Leading directly to the eclipse. Guts is about 19 then. The band rescues Griffith, but he's crippled, despairing.
And he activates the Crimson Mahilet, his egg of the king.
Yeah, that triggers the ceremony. Every 216 years, they're dragged into another dimension.
And the band, they're sacrificed. Slaughtered by apostles.
Oh, so Griffith can be reborn as Femto, the fifth God Hand member, a demonic ascension fueled by the deaths of his closest followers.
Guts and Casca are the only survivors, saved by the Skull Knight.
But not unscathed, branded, cursed, and Casca. Her mind is shattered by the horror and violation. It's just absolute despair, a defining trauma.
So, after that, the world's broken. Guts becomes the Black Swordsman, driven by pure vengeance.
Haunting apostles, consumed by rage. But then things escalate even further. Reality itself starts to unravel.
This really shows the scale of the Godhand's influence, doesn't it? Reshaping reality itself.
He does. During the Conviction arc, Guts ends up at the Tower of Conviction, and that's where Griffith gets his physical body back.
Through that apostle, the egg of the perfect world.
Right, it's a grotesque kind of rebirth.
Right.
Then, years later, Griffith confronts Emperor Gaiseric, another incredibly powerful apostle.
And the Skull Knight intervenes.
Tries to strike Griffith, but accidentally hits Gaiseric with this reality-cutting sword stroke. It unleashes this immense spiritual energy.
Combined with Griffith's power.
It tears the world apart. That's the great roar of the astral world, the merging.
Creating Fantasia, where mythical creatures now roam freely alongside humans.
Exactly. So now, in the current timeline, Guts is on this quest to Elfhelm, trying desperately to heal Casca's mind.
While Griffith has built Faltonia, this seeming utopia.
Hailed as a savior, humanity's last bastion. But it's built on sacrifice and manipulation.
And the Skull Knight's warning hangs over everything, that this is all just history repeating, a cycle.
Yeah, a grim reminder of causality's pull.
It's clear Miura built more than just a physical world. There are layers, right? Different planes of existence.
Oh, definitely. It's crucial to understanding how everything works. You've got the physical world, Utsuyo, that's the mundane mortal realm. Pretty straightforward.
But then there's the astral world, Kakuryo.
Which is much more complex. It's a parallel spiritual dimension. Think of it as the realm of ideas, souls, emotions, myths, dreams.
And humanity's collective consciousness has power there.
Huge power. Belief shapes reality in the astral world. It has layers of depths too. It's not just one thing.
And where do Guts and Casca fit in with the brand?
They're trapped in the interstice, Hazama no Seikei. It's where the physical and astral worlds overlap, bleed into each other.
So they're constantly exposed to spirits in danger.
Right. The brand acts like a beacon, attracting entities from the astral world, especially at night. It's a perpetual torment.
And deeper still.
The abyss. Janarnka. The deepest layer of the astral world. It's essentially Berserk's hell. A vortex formed from humanity's collective negative consciousness. Fear, pain, hatred.
And that's where the God Hand resides.
At its very core. Drawing power from it, shaping events from within it.
So what's the ultimate force driving all this horror? It feels orchestrated.
It is. This is where it gets really fundamental. The universe operates under causality, or ingaritsu.
Which isn't just cause and effect.
No, it's more like a preordained script, a deterministic flow of events, a grand narrative. The God Hand are its agents, ensuring the story unfolds as fated.
And at the heart of this, the idea of evil.
Yes. A being, a god perhaps, born from the collective unconscious of humanity.
Specifically from our desire for a reason for suffering, a scapegoat.
Exactly. That's the chilling part. The idea of evil isn't some external devil imposing its will. It's a God we created, born from our own darkness, our need to explain suffering. It manipulates history to perpetuate that cycle, because that's what humanity deep down seemingly asked for.
Even though Miura removed the chapter explicitly showing it.
The core concept of a God of the abyss, born from human darkness, remains absolutely central. It shifts the blame, in a way. The ultimate evil isn't out there, it's in us.
So how does this idea of evil, this force of causality, actually interact with the world? Through tools.
Precisely. It operates through tangible instruments, blurring that line between fate and choice. The most obvious are the behelots.
Those weird egg-like things with faces.
The keys to the abyss. They mysteriously appear before someone at their absolute lowest point, a moment of utter despair.
And if activated?
With blood and anguish, yeah. They create terror in reality, summoning the God Hand.
And the Crimson Behel, the egg of the king, is special.
Very special. It appears only once every 216 years, specifically to initiate an eclipse and birth a new God Hand member, like it did for Griffith.
Which involves sacrifice, leading to the apostles.
Right. To gain demonic power and transcend humanity, the Behelot's owner must sacrifice what they hold most dear, their beloved.
That act transforms them into an apostle. A monster embodying their twisted desires, bound to serve the God Hand.
And the ones being sacrificed get the brand of sacrifice, that mark. Like Guts and Casca have. It designates them as offerings. If they survive like they did, they're cursed, forever hunted, trapped in that horrifying interstice.
And the God Hand themselves, the architects.
The Council of Five, Void, Slan, Ubik, Conrad, and Femto, who is Griffith, reborn.
Each one was once human.
Yes. Each sacrificed their own most beloved to ascend. They reside in the abyss, subtly guiding events, ensuring causality's flow.
Void seems like the oldest, the leader almost.
Widely thought to be the sage Gaiseric imprisoned. His form looks like it reflects intense torture before he presumably sacrificed Gaiseric's entire kingdom. He's sort of the philosopher of the group.
Slan is lust and pain embodied.
The whore princess.
Yeah.
She seems particularly fascinated by Guts' suffering. Ubik and Conrad often work together.
Ubik the manipulator, Conrad bringing plague.
Right. Ubik amplifies despair, shows people illusions to break them. Conrad's just grotesque decay. Their designs owe a lot to Clive Barker and H.R. Geiger, clearly.
But there's another kind of power, isn't there? Not demonic. Magic.
Yes, and it represents a completely different philosophy. Magic isn't about selfish sacrifice. It's about understanding and working with the natural world, the astral forces.
Based on odd.
Odd, yeah. A fundamental life force, a spiritual energy flowing from the astral world through everything. Magic users like Shirker or Flora perceive and manipulate this odd.
How do they gain their power then?
By forming pacts, essentially. Communing with and calling upon spirits and elemental entities in the astral world. Especially the four elemental kings, gnomes for earth, undines for water, salamanders for fire, sylphs for air.
It sounds more intricate and maybe dangerous in a different way.
Definitely. It's highly ritualistic circles, talismans, incantation. It's not quick or easy. And when a mage uses powerful magic, their consciousness actually projects into the astral plane.
Leaving their body vulnerable.
Extremely vulnerable. To possession, to attack. It requires immense concentration and protection. It's power through wisdom and connection, but it carries huge risks, a total contrast to the instant, corrupting power apostles get.
There's also mention of Bararites, a fifth element.
That's a more obscure, theorized element, associated with gloom, obsession, maybe the source of the evil or dark power used by the God Hand and apostles, something antithetical to the natural magic of witches. Still a bit mysterious.
Okay, let's dive into the key players, starting with Guts. The struggler.
Guts is just iconic. His story is pure, relentless struggle against a horrifying fate. He embodies that defiant human spirit.
What's interesting is his power doesn't come from destiny or lineage.
Not at all. It comes from sheer stubborn will. From enduring unimaginable suffering born from a hanging corpse, Gambino's abuse, constant battle. He's forged in trauma.
The Band of the Hawk was maybe the only time he found real connection.
It seems like it. A brief period of purpose, belonging. But its destruction, the Eclipse, broke him and remade him into the Black Swordsman, driven by vengeance.
But he's slowly changing again, isn't he? Reclaiming some humanity.
That's his current arc, really. Moving beyond pure revenge, driven now by protecting Casca and his new companions. It's a painful, slow recovery.
Then there's Griffith, the Hawk of Light. So charismatic, so ambitious.
And that ambition is the core of the tragedy. He's one of the most compelling antagonists ever written, I think.
Because his dream is almost understandable initially.
Right, a commoner dreaming of his own kingdom. It feels almost noble. But Miura shows how that intense desire becomes the focal point for causality, for the idea of evil.
His ambition becomes the vessel for ultimate evil.
Exactly. He saw Guts as just a tool initially. When Guts left, it wasn't just betrayal, it undermined Griffith's entire sense of destiny. His fall, the torture. It pushed him to make that ultimate choice.
Sacrificing everyone who followed him, his dearest friends.
To be reborn as Femto, this angelic messianic demon who then builds Falconia, this apparent paradise. It's the ultimate perversion of his dream, salvation through damnation.
And Casca, her story is just brutal.
Heartbreaking. She represents the devastating human cost of Griffith's ambition and causality's flow. She was this incredibly capable warrior devoted to Griffith.
Rescued by him as a child, became his right hand, essentially.
Her relationship with Guts evolves from jealousy to deep love, which makes the eclipse even more tragic. The violation she suffers, it shatters her mind completely.
Leaving her in that childlike state, Elaine.
And her healing becomes Guts' primary motivation, shifting him from vengeance towards protection and restoration. She's a constant reminder of what was lost.
Then we have the Skull Knight, so enigmatic.
He's fascinating. He's like this echo from the past, playing a very long game against the God Hand.
He acts as a mentor to Guts, almost, but also a warning.
Yeah, he embodies that cyclical history Miura emphasizes. He's almost definitely Emperor Gaiseric, right? Or what's left of him.
Another struggler fighting causality for centuries.
Exactly. Waging this eternal war against Void, his likely nemesis from that ancient eclipse. He shows up at key moments to help Guts, nudging him, warning him, trying to break the cycle.
Let's touch on the God Hand again briefly. The architects of destiny.
They are the ultimate antagonists, the executors of the idea of evil's will. As we said, Void, the oldest, likely the tortured sage. Slan, embodying lust and pain.
Ubik and Conrad, the manipulators of despair and disease.
And Femto, Griffith's ascended form, the newest member. Each a former human who made the ultimate sacrifice. They aren't just monsters, they're ascended human desire and despair.
We should also mention Nosferatu Zod. He's not just another apostle.
No, sounds different. He's ancient, legendary, the immortal. He seems driven purely by the thrill of battle, the search for a worthy opponent.
He has a strange sort of honor, doesn't he?
He does. He respects strength. His centuries-long rivalry with the Skull Knight suggests he was around during Gaiseric's time, too. He even shows a grudging respect for Guts.
But he ultimately swears loyalty to Femto.
Right, because he recognizes Griffith Femto as the ultimate strong one, the pinnacle of power he seeks. It raises questions about honor among demons, or maybe just the recognition of overwhelming power.
So, looking at all this, the world, the characters, the lore, what does it tell us about Kentaro Miura's vision? What were his big influences?
Miura's genius was partly in synthesis. He pulled from so many different places, but made it uniquely his own. Western influences are clear Mad Max for that post-apocalyptic feel, Flesh and Blood for the medieval brutality.
Rutger Hauer apparently inspired Guts' look a bit.
Yeah, Miura mentioned that. Also Conan the Barbarian. And for the God Hand, Clive Barker's Hellraiser is a huge visual touchstone. The Gwyn Saga, too, a classic Japanese fantasy novel series.
And manga influences, not just action, right?
Definitely action, like Fist of the North Star. And Go Nagai's Devilman is crucial, especially for the themes of demonic transformation and betrayal. But Miura also specifically cited classic shoujo manga, like The Rose of Versailles.
For the emotional depth, the drama.
Exactly. He wanted to fuse that intense masculine action with deep, complex, feminine, emotional storytelling. That fusion is key to Berserk's power. Artistically, you see influences from detailed Baroque manga like Akira, but also European painters.
Bosch Geiger. You can really see that in the demon designs and the landscapes.
Absolutely. Surreal, grotesque, beautiful, terrifying. And philosophically, he was very deliberate. He avoided overly complex fantasy jargon.
He wanted that grounded once upon a time feel we talked about.
Right. He saw manga panels as windows into another world, could fill them with meticulous detail to make the world tangible, real. So when the cosmic horror erupts, it feels like a genuine violation of a believable reality. It makes it so much more effective.
Given this richness, adaptations have struggled, haven't they? What's the definitive Berserk experience?
The manga. Always the manga. That's the primary undisputed canon. Official guidebooks add some context, but the manga is the source.
The adaptations often cut a lot.
They do. The 97 anime is beloved for its tone and music, but it cuts the whole Black Swordsman arc intro, Puck, Skull Knight, Guts' childhood. Huge omissions.
The Golden Age movies compressed it even more.
Yeah, and the 2016-17 anime. Well, the less said about that 3D CG animation, the better for many fans. It just didn't land visually. They all capture parts of Berserk, but none capture the whole depth and detail of Miura's work.
And even with everything Miura gave us, there are still mysteries. Things fans debate endlessly.
Oh yeah, and that's part of the enduring appeal. These unresolved questions keep you thinking, like Void's origin.
The theory he was Gaiseric sage seems almost universally accepted.
It fits perfectly. His tortured appearance, his opposition to Skull Knight Gaiseric. Then there's the God Hand cycle itself.
A new member every 216 years. Does the oldest get pushed out? Is even Void subject to causality?
It's a compelling idea that even these architects of fate might be cogs in an even larger machine. It adds another layer of cosmic dread.
And the flip side, the idea of good. Is there a force opposing the idea of evil?
That's a big fan theory, born out of hope maybe. If humanity's darkness created the idea of evil, maybe our capacity for good, hope, love created a counterpart. Something subtle, working behind the scenes, aiding Guts and Skull Knight. Miura never confirmed it, but it's a powerful thought.
Finally, Guts' Behelit. He carries one, but he fights against destiny.
Right. It was drawn to him by causality, no doubt. But will he use it? It seems antithetical to his entire character, his struggle against becoming a monster or sacrificing others.
So maybe its purpose is different. A tool against them.
That's a popular theory. That its fated purpose isn't for his ascension, but maybe to interact with the system in another way. Perhaps even to challenge the God Hand directly somehow. These mysteries keep the world alive.
So we've journeyed through this incredible world, medieval grit, cosmic horror, cycles of fate, the depths of the abyss, the power of the God Hand.
And the sheer unwavering struggle of characters like Guts against it all. Miura's grounding in realism, the inescapable pull of causality. It really is a masterclass.
It's more than just dark fantasy. It's a deep, often uncomfortable look at the human condition.
Holding up that dark mirror, forcing you to confront big questions about suffering, desire, and free will.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener. Considering how powerful causality is in Berserk's world, do you think Guts can truly break the cycle?
Or is even his incredible defiance just another thread woven into that predetermined tapestry? What would it even take for something like an idea of good to gain real traction in such a profoundly bleak reality?
Questions Berserk leaves you wrestling with. We hope this deep dive has given you a greater appreciation for the staggering depth of its lore.
And definitely left you with plenty to think about.